This presentation is designed to help you, a CASB mentor, support students currently enrolled in CASB's Module 1. It covers mentoring issues specific to Module 1. For a general mentoring framework that can be applied to all CASB modules, you can refer to the Framework for CASB Mentors presentation in the Mentor Center. By the end of this session, you will understand the key features of the CASB program, know which topics are covered in Module 1, be able to identify student challenges that are unique to Module 1. Please note that general challenges common to all modules are covered in the Framework for CASB Mentor session. Understand what you can do to support your Module 1 students. Differentiate between mentoring practices that work best in smaller training offices and those that are more suitable to larger training offices. Know what resources are available to you. Know how to access the CASB Mentor Center, and know how to register for the mentor modules. As a Module 1 mentor, you or your students may be new to the CASB program, so we'll start by highlighting some of the key features of the CASB program. CA Student Development is a collaborative partnership between CASB and CA training offices. CASB enables students to develop competencies through its professional education program. CA training offices enable students to develop competencies through practical experience, mentoring, and other learning support, including external courses and human resource policies that are conducive to learning. As mentors, you play a key role in student development as you are in a unique position to reinforce CASB learning in the workplace and improve learning outcomes. CASB encourages mentoring efforts at CA training offices. That's why we create tools for mentors and provide you with access to CASB resources. The goal of the CASB program is to develop business-ready professionals. CASB focuses not just on technical competencies, but also on the pervasive qualities and skills. The program places particular emphasis on communication and critical thinking skills, as these skills prepare students for successful careers as CAs beyond the UFI. The CASB program comprises 5 learning modules and an additional UFI prep program led by trained facilitators who are also practicing CAs. The 5 initial modules help students develop the technical and pervasive competencies required by CAs. The UFI prep program runs from May to September and is specifically designed to help students prepare for the UFI. The 5 initial modules are structured as a single case study that follows the story of Vision Windows Limited, an organization that grows from a one-person operation to a company contemplating listing on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Each week, students read more of Vision's story and complete tasks from the perspectives of different people who are involved with the company, such as assistant controller, external auditor, or an associate in public practice, the kinds of roles that CAs fill. Module 1 covers the early years of Vision Windows. In Module 2, the business is sold and transitions to new owners and management. In Module 3, Vision becomes a multinational company. In Module 4, Vision focuses more attention on governance and strategic planning. Vision also considers a number of new investment opportunities. And in Module 5, Vision contemplates numerous issues related to going public. CASB's UFI prep program spans from late May right up to the UFI dates in mid-September and consists of 3 components. 1, the online UFI prep module, which contains numerous resources to help students prepare for the UFI. Students gain access to the online UFI prep module in May and continue to have access right up to the UFI dates in mid-September. 2, the face-to-face classroom sessions, which focus on writing and debriefing simulations. Some time is also allocated for technical review. The face-to-face classroom sessions take place in late July to early August. And 3, the evaluated simulations. Students write a simulated UFI in early August in actual UFI writing centers wherever possible. These 3 components of CASB's UFI prep program provide an excellent foundation to enable students to successfully challenge the UFI. Facilitated competency-based learning is the foundation of the CASB program. Each of CASB's 5 initial modules includes a number of components. The weekly narratives offer students an opportunity to role-play through real-world simulations. Students complete weekly tasks as they progress through each module, and a number of resources are available to students to assist them in completing their weekly tasks, including the Technical Resource Center and the Virtual Professional Library. Students also attend weekly online chats with their facilitator for additional guidance. Chat transcripts are posted on the discussion board. Once students have submitted their tasks, they receive facilitator feedback on these tasks and make revisions as necessary to achieve competency. Students can also complete weekly multiple-choice questions, or MCQs. The MCQs are excellent self-study tools that enable students to review technical information and receive instant feedback on their performance. For each module, students attend a 3-day face-to-face interactive session where they review specific competencies, the pervasive qualities and skills, and focus on case writing. Each module ends with an evaluation, which includes some combination of a comprehensive case, multi-subject questions of varying lengths, or MCQs. Next, we'll provide an overview of Module 1. The Module 1 face-to-face interactive session takes place early in the 8-week module. The withdrawal deadline is usually toward the midpoint of the module. In Week 7 of the module, tasks end. We do not assign additional tasks to students in Week 8, as we'd like students to use this time to prepare for the module end evaluation, which takes place in Week 9. Module results are released subsequently, after which students have a brief period to appeal results. For specific dates, please refer to the schedule of key dates in the Mentor Center. In Module 1, students initially play the role of Assistant Controller of Vision Windows Limited. In this role, students undertake research and write memos to Vision's owner or controller on various issues of importance to Vision. In the second half of the module, students switch roles and portray an associate at Parkhurst & Lowen, or P&L, a public accounting firm. In this role, students prepare information for partners and managers at P&L, as well as Vision's management and other parties related to Vision who are clients of the firm. Module 1 covers numerous topics, but does have some key areas of focus. Issues related to client acceptance are covered. Module 1 students also complete both a review engagement and a compilation engagement. Students perform financial statement analysis. Students consider various personal tax-related matters, including compliance and filing requirements, calculation of taxes payable and preparation of returns, and identification and analysis of tax planning opportunities. Students also consider corporate tax, specifically tax issues related to small business. Finally, Module 1 students examine various management decision-making and finance issues, such as a lease versus buy decision, a break-even analysis, and a cash flow projection. The Module 1 storyboard provides more detailed information about what is covered in Module 1 on a week-by-week basis. You can find the Module 1 storyboard in the Module 1 student overview in the Mentor Center. In weeks 1 through 4, students focus on accounting adjustments, accounting treatments of various transactions, choosing between assurance engagements, cost allocations, cash management, internal controls, leasing versus buying assets, and income tax issues. In weeks 5 through 7, students work on the review engagement for Vision Windows Limited and assist an entrepreneur with her home-based business. No additional tasks are assigned to students in Week 8 as we encourage students to use that time to prepare for the module end evaluation. The Practical Application Checklist, or PAC, provides an alternate view of what students do in Module 1. The PAC outlines specific workplace tasks by competency area that CASB students are able to perform upon completion of Module 1. The competency areas loosely resemble workplace departments in which students may be employed. As a CASB mentor, you are in the unique position of being able to reinforce CASB learning in the workplace. You can use the PAC to enable the transfer of learning across education and workplace contexts. The Module 1 PAC is available in the Mentor Center. Next, we'll identify student challenges that are unique to Module 1. General challenges common to all modules are covered in the framework for CASB Mentors session. In Module 1, many of students' struggles are due to unfamiliarity with the CASB program. Module 1 students also encounter various technical challenges. Since they are new to the CASB program, Module 1 students may have difficulty understanding what is expected of them in the CASB program, including the typical time commitment required and awareness of key CASB policies. Module 1 students may also have difficulty grasping the nuances of a competency-based model. Some students are also challenged by the self-directedness necessary for success in the program. Students need to be comfortable with a less structured learning environment and a vast array of resources, as well as develop a drive for self-study. Students may not yet have honed their case writing skills. And new students may also lack confidence in using technology or navigating online resources. Many of these struggles are specific to Module 1, and students become better equipped to deal with these issues as they progress through the CASB modules. It's difficult to generalize the technical areas in which students struggle. Different students encounter different technical challenges. We've identified the key areas of focus for Module 1 earlier in this session, and the module storyboard provides more details about specific tasks students are required to perform in Module 1. Students may struggle in any of these areas. The best way for you to identify where your students are struggling is to have a discussion with them. Having said that, we do tend to see students struggling with certain technical topics. Module 1 covers numerous personal and corporate tax issues. Tax is often an area of weakness for students. Students are required to allocate expenses amongst divisions and prepare divisional income statements in Module 1. Some students are challenged by this task. Finally, some students struggle with lease versus buy decisions, particularly the corresponding qualitative analysis. Now we'll discuss what you as mentors can do to support your Module 1 students. General mentoring tips applicable to all modules are covered in the Framework for CASB Mentor session. You can assist your Module 1 students in 6 specific ways: by being clear about expectations, by clarifying what is involved in a competency-based program, by encouraging self-directedness, by facilitating the development of case writing skills, by offering tips on using technology and navigating through online resources, and by coaching for specific technical weaknesses. Since students are new, they likely don't know what is expected of them. You can shed some light on what their CASB experience will be like. Students can spend 12 to 15 hours per week on their program. The CASB program is integrative in nature. Some weeks build upon work from previous weeks, so it is important to keep up with weekly assignments rather than trying to cram at the last minute. Students entering the program will also be unfamiliar with key CASB policies. For further guidance, you can refer to the Student Resource Guide, which contains information relevant to students, and the Education Policy Manual, which contains broader policies relevant to students and training offices. Both are available in the Mentor Center. In addition to CASB policies, your training office may also have professional development policies that impact your students. You can inform your students of the specific circumstances in your training environment. CASB is a competency-based program. Your students might not be used to developing competencies, so it may be useful to define what we mean by competencies. Competencies consist of knowledge, skills, attitudes, and behaviors that enable professionals to do their work. Competencies are active in that simply knowing is not enough. Competencies require students to do something with their knowledge. You can emphasize the expectations of a competency-based model. Students do not receive grades on their assignments. Instead, they receive feedback from their CASB facilitators. The feedback provides guidance to students as they develop their required competencies. Students should be aware that achieving competency may require revisions to their initial submissions. Additionally, as in the workplace, in a competency-based model, there is no single correct answer. We expect students to develop competent solutions rather than perfect responses. We expect students to take an active role in their own learning and competency development. To encourage self-directedness, you can provide students with guidance rather than answers, including encouraging students to arrive at their own solutions, identifying potential resources for research, defining and clarifying terms, discussing relevant topics, and providing guidance on task approaches, time allocation, and layouts. Similarly, you can also uphold policies related to dishonesty in the CASB program, including encouraging collaboration and discouraging plagiarism. You can find additional information in the Student Resource Guide in the Mentor Center. Module 1 students may not yet have honed their case writing skills. To assist your students with the development of these skills, you can refer to the Approaching a Simulation Guide. This guide is available in the CASB Mentor Module 1. The Approaching a Simulation presentation in the Mentor Center offers specific guidance on case writing. You may also want to refer to it. In the last few pages of the Approaching a Simulation Guide, we also provide students with an example of how to outline a simulation. Again, you can find this guide in CASB Mentor Module 1. The Practice Case Introduction provides students with further guidance on how to approach and debrief simulations. You can also find this document in CASB Mentor Module 1. Students use laptop computers to input their responses to module evaluations in the UFI. They are required to use software called Secure Exam CA, which is a special lockdown software program that disables most of the computer's functionality and file access while students are writing evaluations. New students are not familiar with the software. You can refer to the Secure Exam guides, which are available in the Mentor Center, for additional guidance. We also have an additional guide that offers Secure Exam tips for case writing. You can find this guide in CASB Mentor Module 1. Module 1 students may not be skilled Excel, Handbook, or Virtual Professional Library users. If you are an experienced user of these tools, you may also want to provide your students with additional guidance. For each week of Module 1, CASB identifies resources and readings that are useful to students as they complete their tasks. The list is available in the Module 1 Student Overview document in the Mentor Center. When coaching your students through their technical weaknesses, you may wish to use any of these CASB-identified technical resources. Please note that some of these resources are in the Virtual Professional Library, which is only available to CASB students. You can still refer your students to these resources or review them together. Additionally, when coaching your students through their technical weaknesses, you can refer to any of the resources in the Technical Resource Center, which is located in CASB Mentor Module 1. The Technical Resource Center contains a number of CASB guides, specific technical guides arranged by competency area, and links to relevant external information. You might also have internal resources that can assist you in coaching your students through their technical weaknesses, whether they be technical guides or subject matter experts. When it comes to helping your students address their tax weaknesses, we've identified a number of technical resources to assist you. We've listed them for each week of Module 1. These resources are too numerous to go through individually in this session. You can refer to the appropriate resources based on your students' specific tax-related struggles. As we've previously mentioned, some of these resources are in the Virtual Professional Library, which is only available to CASB students. You can still refer your students to these resources or review them together. The resources are listed in the Useful Resources and Readings section of the Module 1 Student Overview document in the Mentor Center. To assist your students with allocating costs amongst divisions, you can refer to the Activity-Based Costing section of the Management Decision-Making Library. The library is in CASB Mentor Module 1. To assist your students in making lease versus buy decisions, you can refer to the Lease versus Buy Decisions section of the Finance Library. The library is available in CASB Mentor Module 1. Next, we'll identify which mentoring practices work best in smaller training offices and which are more suitable to larger training offices. If you are a mentor at a smaller office with fewer students and leaner resources, the buddy system will likely be your primary approach to supporting Module 1 students. As a buddy, you can meet with your students to address their specific challenges and apply some of the tips we provided earlier in this presentation. If you are a mentor at a larger office with more students and greater resources, you might choose to implement any combination of the buddy system, a CASB orientation session, a Module 1 session, various technical sessions, an appointed Module 1 champion, or a case writing skills session. Of course, none of these practices are required, though we encourage you to select activities that work best in your environment. Refer to the CA Training Office Mentoring Practices session in the Mentor Center for further details on each of these practices. You might also want to refer to the framework for CASB Mentor session in the Mentor Center for mentoring tips that can be applied to all 5 CASB modules. Additionally, you can refer to the Approaching a Simulation session in the Mentor Center for additional guidance on case writing. Now, we'll outline the various resources that are available to assist you as CASB mentors, and we'll also indicate how you can access the CASB Mentor Center. You have 3 sources of valuable mentoring information available to you: the Mentor Center, the CASB Mentor modules, and the UP Prep Mentor module. Let's take a moment to distinguish the 3 from each other. The Mentor Center contains various mentoring resources, including an overview of common mentoring practices at training offices, a general framework for mentoring students through Modules 1 to 5, module-specific mentoring tips, and additional mentoring guidance on specific topics such as case writing and critical thinking. Recordings of any webinars we hold will also be posted to the Mentor Center. The Mentor Center is located on the CASB website and is open to all, as we support the mentoring activities you carry out at training offices. We also have 2 different types of mentor modules. The CASB Mentor modules contain all the learning materials from Modules 1 through 5. In other words, they provide you with access to the same materials students engage with as they complete the CASB modules. The CASB Mentor modules also contain links to relevant Mentor Center resources. The CASB Mentor modules are housed in Desire to Learn, CASB's learning management system. Since they contain proprietary information, you must register to gain access to these modules. And finally, the UP Prep Mentor module contains all the learning materials from CASB's UP Prep program, as well as links to relevant Mentor Center resources. The UP Prep Mentor module provides you with access to all of the materials that your students will use to prepare for the UP. The UP Prep Mentor module is also housed in Desire to Learn and requires you to register to obtain access. Finally, we'll show you how to register for the Mentor modules. Why register for the CASB Mentor modules? Unlike the Mentor Center, the Mentor modules contain all the learning materials from Modules 1 through 5. Registration enables you to access the same information your students see as they make their way through the CASB modules. Registered mentors also receive advance notice of any mentoring events such as webinars and are informed as new mentoring resources are developed. Who can register? Qualified CAs or CASB students who are more senior to the students they are mentoring can register. HR and student contacts at CA training offices can also register, even if they're not CAs. To register, complete the CASB Mentor registration application in the Forms section of the CASB website. Registration is valid until mid-October of each year, and content is refreshed with each module offering. We will contact you each fall to renew your registration for the coming year. Even though we did not specifically cover the UP Prep Mentor module in today's session, some of you may also mentor students who will be preparing for the UP, so we'll take a moment to show you how to get access to this module. Why register for the UP Prep Mentor module? Again, unlike the Mentor Center, the UP Prep Mentor module contains all learning materials from CASB's UP Prep program. You will have access to the same resources your students use to prepare for the UP. Registered mentors also receive advance notice of any UP mentoring events, such as webinars, and are informed as new UP mentoring resources are developed. Who can register? Qualified CAs or CASB students who have successfully completed the UP can register. HR and student contacts at CA training offices can also register, even if they're not CAs. To register, complete the UFI Mentor registration application in the Forms section of the CASB website. Registration is valid until the end of April each year, and content is refreshed each May. We will contact you each spring to renew your registration for the coming year. If you have any questions regarding CASB mentoring, please contact Laura Gregorick, CASB's Director of CA Training Office Engagement, via email at laura.gregorick@casb.com or via phone at 604-488-2645. As mentors, you play an important role in student development, and CASB values the support you provide to CA students. Thank you for your interest and dedication. This concludes the Module 1 Mentoring Tips session.